last video, we crossed the border into a brand new country, where we immediately encountered the infamous police stops of Nigeria. We had heard stories, but to experience it in real life is a whole different thing. It took us a while to get to our campsite, but we did, and we settled in, and we had a much needed good night's rest here in the parking lot at the Eden Hotel. This morning, both kiddies, Vanna and G-Money, got a much needed walk and a little relaxation time in the gardens here, where they even got to take a peek at some turkeys and peacocks that the hotel have here. But it's time to get on the road. We have another long day of driving. We must drive all the way across Nigeria before the rainy season gets here, and it is knocking on the door. So we'll weave through this little rural neighborhood that sets just back off the main road, and then we'll get there, and let's hope that today goes a little bit better, a little bit more smooth than our first encounter with Nigeria did yesterday. Bye-bye. Hello. Good morning.
In 150 meters, turn right on Idaroko Road, Oda Road.
Good morning. Things looked promising as we were leaving the rural roads, the neighborhood roads of our campsite, and pulling back onto the main road, which was a total disaster last night when we pulled in here in our last video. So there was traffic, but it wasn't near as bad, so we were feeling excited. We were on the road before 8. We were going to miss the traffic. What'd we get, about two kilometers down the road?
It wasn't very far, and we came to this market area, and I mean, if I could describe this to you, it's a one, maybe a 2-lane road, and the traffic just jams in 4 lanes wide, so you're literally inches apart from cars, from the tuk-tuks, and from motorcycles, and from pedestrians, and there are these giant potholes all over in the road. And so you guys know we have a tall van, and other people are in vans too, and of course that rocks them. So when you're inches apart, I mean, it is just, it was really like intense instantly. Snow, what do you think?
Yeah, well, first of all, we've seen cars in front of us and beside us hitting each other, and it just doesn't matter. You brush up against somebody and it's just like you waved at them. They don't stop, they don't acknowledge it, they just move on. We've been very fortunate that nobody's brushed into us or teeter-tottered into us on those big bumps yet. But Curt was maneuvering, and I look ahead and I'm like, Curt, there's a lot of water up there. And we look, and these puddles, they're foot and a half deep, and they're full of water, and we have no choice but to go through them. And then the traffic stops, and you're stuck in this puddle that's 100 feet long.
I literally saw cars where the bumper was going underwater in these puddles.
So you're sitting here going, man, I'm sitting still. Please don't let my exhaust be sitting underwater. There's no way to get out and look. There's no way to move. Total chaos everywhere.
And still, all the cabs, all the vans, all the tuk-tuks, all the motorcycles are still fighting for position. So it's like they're trying to pass you when there's no space. I mean, it's like nothing I've ever seen.
Now, we all need to stop right here and give Curt big, giant kudos. He's maintaining his cool. He's getting us through this traffic. Now, when we drove through Conakry, it was intense, and it was long. Back in Guinea, it was hours and hours of it. What seems to be happening here is there's always traffic, but anytime you come up on an intersection, total chaos. There are no rules. It's every man, every vehicle, every person selling something, every tuk-tuk for their self. If there were rules, this chaos probably wouldn't be so bad at these intersections. But it is insane. And we are now approaching our next intersection. So, guys, we've got 400 kilometers to go today. Google says 7.5 hours. We know that means 8 or 9 hours. We do not have a choice but to drive that far because of we have to beat rainy season. And if you watch there's cars coming through here. I guess go. Oh boy, guys.
Video protected.
Yeah. Locals try to help and direct traffic. You don't know if you're supposed to listen to them or not, but we got one knocking on the window now. Let us get through here and we will just all right, we're gonna let y'all just ride along with us. There's more of the jesters. Sorry guys, we'll beep that out. But this kind of driving is worthy of some obscene profanity from Curt. Whatever it takes for him to remain calm.
Well, I think what happens is, this is what I think happens. I'm just now figuring out. In some of those areas, there's guys just standing there and they try to help bust up the traffic. They help try to, an honest effort to move traffic. And I think they want a tip. They want a tip. And so they'll make some gestures, which the locals probably understand. And they'll try to kind of follow you and tap you and say, come this way, come this way. And then they'll start bouncing around and clowning around and doing all sorts of stuff. And I think that's what's happening. But these buses and taxis just stop in the middle of the road, 3 lanes wide too. So it's just absolute chaos.
Yeah, and even if we could, even if we wanted to give those guys a tip for helping us through, when you're in one of those spots, these windows are not coming down.
They're not coming down.
We just can't do it, guys.
There's so many people banging on the van, bouncing around.
It's okay.
It ain't happening.
G doesn't like when people bang on his van either. It gets him upset. But we broke through that intersection. We'll see how far we go till we got a next one. But like I was saying, we've got 400 kilometers to go. Google says 7.5 hours. It's going to probably be 9 or 10. So it's going to be a long, very interesting driving day. The campsite we have picked out for tonight is a church that allows overlanders to stay behind its gates and walls. And you make a little donation to the church. So that's our goal.
Well, I should also say that we are just north of Lagos, and Lagos is the capital city of Nigeria. And Nigeria is one of the biggest countries with the biggest economies in all of Africa. Now, there's a lot of poverty here, but still it is crowded everywhere. And maybe we're hoping, fingers crossed, we're still way out in the outer bands and suburbs, but we're hoping as we get further away from Lago, hopefully we get a break from this traffic, because it's nuts.
You did it. It's okay, G. He's picking up on the tension. We're almost through that section. The intersection.
We almost made it through the first 15 minutes, buddy.
We are 1 hour into our drive. We went about 15 miles in 1 hour through some of the most intense intersections and driving and market areas that we've been through yet. But we think we just made it onto kind of an interstate type road. I don't want to be too hopeful, but hopefully it eases up a little bit. Woo! How was that hour, Curt?
I always give you guys my first impressions of a country For Nigeria, I have one word that I can tell you that pretty much covers it. Intense.
In 400 meters,
This
turn left
place
on
is intense.
About 30 minutes ago, we had thought we had made it to like an interstate type road. We had not.
The Expressway.
There was still more maneuvering and intersections and ramps going on. But now I truly think we've made it to some sort of an expressway. We are moving at 90 kilometers an hour, which is probably, I don't know, 50 miles an hour. So we're moving, and that is good. But while we were going through there, I Googled the number of traffic fatalities each year in Nigeria. Now, Nigeria has a transportation reporting agency that supposedly tracks that. And it said that last year, in 2024, that 5,400 people died in traffic-related accidents in Nigeria. Other reporting agencies from outside of Nigeria totally disagree. And after driving through what we just drove through, I'm going to agree with the outside agencies. The WHO, the World Health Organization, estimates that over 40,000 people die in car vehicle-related accidents each year in Nigeria. So when Curt says it's intense, guys. Hopefully we're starting to get away from some of that chaos and get out into a little bit more of the rural bits of Nigeria. But Curt didn't know that. He was too busy focused. He didn't know those numbers until just now. What do you think?
Well, also, and Snow said it multiple times, I don't know if she said it on camera, but with the pedestrians, it's like Frogger. And literally, when they're trying to cross traffic, all of a sudden, you see them just, I mean, they like run, stop, run, and you just see people everywhere in the road just trying to get across. And sometimes they're carrying something on their head, pushing a wheelbarrow, a big cart. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if a lot of those fatalities are pedestrians.
Yeah, people getting hit. Okay, the drive continues. We have gone 43 kilometers in an hour and a half. I just did some more Googling. I want to kind of give y'all an idea of the density, the population density here in Nigeria, because I can't think of a way to explain how many people were in such small spaces. But California is, if you put two Californias size-wise, it would be about the same size as Nigeria. So Nigeria is a large country. Now California has, I believe it was about 80 million people. No, 40 million people. If there's two Californias, it would be 80 million people. So Nigeria has 240 million people. So 3 times the number of people that live in California. So that maybe helps explain how many people live here. Now, according to the WHO, the World Health Organization, Nigeria had over 40,000 fatalities from vehicle-related accidents last year. California had 4,000.
So you'd have to multiply that times 2.
Oh yeah, 8,000, right, Curt's right. So 8 people to people, size to size, 2 Californias equals 1 Nigeria, 80 million people in 2 Californias, 240 million people in 1 Nigeria, 8,000 deaths in 2 Californias, 40,000 deaths in 1 Nigeria. I don't know if that makes sense. It does in my head, so if you think like me, maybe that helps you understand the density of people and how bad they drive here. It's been a little over 3 hours since we've been driving. We were on a nice expressway, interstate type road for maybe 20 minutes, and then we had to get off of it. And it's another expressway, but the conditions of this road have been horrible. Very potholed up, no lane lines, chaos, but mainly the potholes and the rough road. And It's been a tough hour or so since we've been on this road. And one of the things I got to point out they do here, if we gave any indication that these people drive at all good, we must take that back immediately. Because on this road, which is a divided highway that has the possibility of 3 lanes on each side, so a 6-lane highway, you'll be driving along on your side of the road, all 3 lanes of your traffic, or 5 or 2, whatever they decide at the point, but will be going in your direction, and all of a sudden a whole slew of cars just comes at you going the wrong way, and they get mad at you because you're over there where they're driving and they're clearly on the wrong side of the road. It blows my mind. And the aggressiveness of the taxi drivers, it's tough, guys. We knew driving through Nigeria would be tough. When we leave Nigeria and cross into Cameroon, that is the worst roads we will drive on this whole journey. It's what we prepped the van for back in Spain. It's the part we've studied and thought, are we going to go on that road? Or are we going to take the other option, which is going through a dangerous area with military escorts? And quite honestly, we still haven't decided whether we're going the really bad road that you must beat rainy season, or whether we're going to take the road through Epoch, which is through a really, really active, almost war zone, civil war type stuff going on in there. So we don't know which option we're taking yet. We probably have to decide by in the morning whether we go north or south or east or west, whatever it turns out to be on the map. But I can tell you, this is mentally draining for me as the passenger. I can't even begin to imagine what it's like for Curt driving this. I think I'm about to get my turn while we're not in the city areas. I'm going to give him a break. But I think this is more than we expected. I think we expected it to be worse over by Cameroon. I don't think we expected it to be this way all the way through. So, but we share the good, the bad, and the in-between with you guys. And this drive, that's what's going on right now, and we don't have a choice.
And here we come up to another roadblock.
Yeah, there's the police stops have started back up. It's quite a bit, guys. But there's no other choice, so we'll keep doing it.
There is a new driver in town. Snow is getting a case of the Nigerian white knuckles syndrome. And let me tell you, this place will give you the serious white knuckles. I mean, it is relentless. It is non-stop. But we're making progress. We stopped. We got some fuel. We had some lunch. We got the cats some grass.
Made them very, very happy.
These roads are tough on them, and we feel bad. We hate days like this. There are going to be a few of them, so we try to take care of them special on days like this. And we made a couple stops already for them, and we're probably going to make a couple more before it's all said and done. But a couple things. The police stops, checkpoints continue, and you guys probably noticed by now, but they just scatter logs and branches and rocks across the road and kind of make it where you got to go through them like an S curve. And throughout the stoppage, there'll be like one officer right after the other. So like if you don't stop for the first one, then there's a couple other ones, and they got guns, and we've even seen a couple grenade launchers. So they are not messing around at some of these checkpoints. Fortunately for us, almost every single one today, they have just waved us through. If they stop, it's just because they want to say hello, fist bump, shake hands, ask where we're from, whatever. It has nothing to do with anything other than them being curious and friendly. So that's going okay, pretty good. I mean, slows us down, but can't complain. It's the way it is. The other thing is, this road is a truck graveyard. we have seen more semi-trucks broken down and crashed along this highway than we have ever in any stretch of highway. And you will see them broken down one after another. We came up to one checkpoint and there was a smoldering truck part in the middle of the road.
Like an axle or something.
Like, yeah, a drive shaft piece or something. And anyway, yeah, he stopped right in front of us. We kind of went around. But they up and down through here, and every once in a while they'll come to a town, and they have just stopped everybody in those.
Please stop. We got to lower the camera.
Yeah.
Hold on.
So anyway, it's been pretty interesting.
Video protected.
Hello, sir. How are you?
How you doing?
I want to follow you.
Come on, let's go. So anyway, sorry about that, guys. But we're at a military checkpoint, and we definitely don't want to give the impression that we're trying to high def with
Film
our
them,
hand
yeah.
camera them.
Yeah.
So the dash cam is fine, but the pocket no good. Anyway, we're moving along. We're making decent progress. I think we've got a couple hours left to our next, to our potential park spot, which would put us there about 4 p.m. So good and early, give us a chance to take a break and the cats to take a break. But I will tell you, as I look ahead, I can see on the horizon 2 more checkpoints. So it is slow going. What do you think, Snow? How about the driving?
I don't like it. But that we knew it was going to be like this, guys, and we just got to get through Nigeria and get through Cameroon, and then it should get easier. Should. We'll see.
Should. There you go. It has been a long, intense, brutal day, and we are both exhausted. It's only about, I think, 4 o'clock. We're still 20 minutes from our hopeful camp spot. We have 2 marked. One is a church parking lot, and we found that on our Overlander, and the other is a hotel parking lot. The hotel parking lot is pay. It's like 11 or 12 bucks. I'm not sure if it's gated, but it does have the option for a shower. So since it is hot, we do have water. We can take a shower in the van. But if, well, we don't know. Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen. So we're going to see up here. Hopefully one of them will work out because we are done and we need a place to stop. So we'll catch up with you guys when we get here and we'll let you know how it works out. As we wind down the day, I just finished talking to you guys. We got roped off by one of these police officers, and he was rude. He kind of made us pull way off the road. He asked for the driver's license. Pretty sure they wanted a bribe. They were pretty aggressive at this one, and they were pretty nasty. No, they didn't ask for any money, and they let us go, but it was, it got pretty intense there for a second. We're just ready to get parked. All right, guys, we made it. We made it to our camp spot, and these guys were super cool here. They're gonna let us stay here tonight for the free. So this is a hotel right here, and this is our parking spot. We have some nice trees. The people are real cool. There's a secure gate up there, and there's a security guard. So everything should be okay. And I'll be honest with you guys, we're wore out. So this is where we're gonna wind the video down. Thank you guys so much for all the wonderful comments. We really appreciate it. You guys supporting us along this journey means everything to us. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for those who've contributed financially for us. That goes a long way for the journey. We really appreciate that. And yeah, guys, we can't wait to see you on the next one. We got some of the hardest parts of Nigeria left. So we'll see you in the morning.
If you liked this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It really helps us a lot. And if you want to see more of our videos, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you know when new videos come out. We'll see you guys in a few days from somewhere out here in the world. Cheers.